Bum, 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 ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Never let it be said the Empire did anything small. Here we have the Executor, Darth Vader's flagship in the Star Wars trilogy. Well, more accurately, the latter two editions. And it's been, according to this, 40 years. If I can get the stupid screen to stop. There we go. 40 years since Return of the Jedi. And the Executor is shown in all its glory, only to later crash into the Death Star. Basically, this is a fairly accurate model. It's going for pretty standard accurate scale. If you'll see in the background, that's Tentative 4, which was overshadowed and pulled into the hangar bay of one of these, a standard size Star Destroyer, which is supposed to be around a mile long. The Executor and other Super Star Destroyers, 12 miles long. Yeah, if you thought a standard Star Destroyer was a floating city in space, the Executor looks at a Star Destroyer and says, "Oh my Empire." The detail is fairly decent. It uses various tricks to get the angular look. And if you look from the top down, it's like a spearhead, which is an apt metaphor. It seems like most large Imperial craft resemble spearheads. And the various intricacies of the upper area really make it look like a city in space. And its one weakness, of course, the fact that its bridge is right there and its shield generators are right above it. The same basic weakness of the standard Star Destroyer. Basically, a weakness that would not be tolerated in actual military craft. But the Empire was like, ha, no one can stand up to us. So they kind of invited their own destruction. Now, as part of its design, the underside is relatively flat, except for this area in the back, which has, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 engines of varying sizes. So this puppy is not going anywhere fast. It's taking its time. But when it does get there, look out. Because if a Star Destroyer is tough, with the exception of that glaring weakness, a Super Star Destroyer is definitely nothing to be messed with. But it's all show, as the rebels quickly found out. Overall, this model is fairly decent. Intricate in its simplicity and simple in its intricacy. And the fact that it has a couple of regular sized Star Destroyers next to it for scale really drives home the size factor. Even though in this section, I think they're trying to recreate the scene where the bounty hunters are getting told that they're going to get a payment for the Millennium Falcon by Vader. And if that setup is accurate, then the scale is a little off. Personally, I like to think it's part of the engines or something. Unlike with Tentative 4, which was closer to scale. So yeah. Celebrating 40 years of Return of the Jedi, the Super Star Destroyer Executor. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And when someone tries to take over the universe, usually their reach exceeds their grasp. And just because someone's working for the bad guys doesn't mean they're necessarily bad, although you do have to question their motives. May the Force be with you all.